This is Gene Krebs.
Hi there. Oh. Whoop. Whoosh.
And we're high on Ohio.
A number of things happened in that first year. I was working on the Ohio Senate as an advisor while we were rewriting workers' compensation law.
Okay.
For the reform of it.
Okay.
And the second thing is I uncovered the massive fraud that happened here in Cleveland, in which 289 individuals, mostly attorneys, were convicted of frauding the state of Ohio workers' comp by well over $10 million. So when I told the administration I was resigning to sell plastic flower pots, they thought that I really was not serious. And I did. A friend of mine, as a neighbor, developed a special plastic injection molding machine. Instead of knocking out one plastic flower pot, he could knock out 4 at a time.
Okay.
And he revolutionized the plastic flower pot industry.
Okay.
And I helped open up Ohio,
Okay.
if you will. The two individuals that I hold the highest for understanding government and having a vision and being able to articulate the vision and then carry out the mission of that vision is Dick Celeste and Mike White.
Okay.
Not everybody could do that.
Right.
They had the ability to have a vision, articulate it, and equally important, implement it. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
They did it, and they did a wonderful job. Somebody says, well, we should get somebody like Denihan. I said, well, why don't we call Denihan himself and see if he's interested?
Okay.
And I was, and they appointed me the director of the Department of Children and Family Services, and I served there for 2.5 years and made some very significant changes there. Some of the things I'm most proud of is reducing the morale to reduce their turnaround time from 35% to less than 3%.
Wow.
And in that business, it's kind of unheard of. It's a case study in Harvard University, how I worked with the union president to help make these changes.
Okay.
So we turned it around, and then I had this notion I should run for mayor, and that would be against Mike White. So I talked to the 3 county commissioners, which is Jimmy DeMora, Tim McCormick, and Jane Campbell, and they all said I was nuts, but go ahead and do it. I eventually left Children and Family Services and learned the lesson in politics that it's one thing to run for office, and it's another thing to actually run the offices, and that you need a base to work from. And I did not have that.
Right.
And so I lost, but I had a good time. And in the middle of the celebration, about 9:30, a ticker went across Channel 3 saying I was leading Jane Campbell by about 2,000 votes. And so we went nuts thinking I won. And then another ticker 5 minutes later said correction.
Oh.
So I experienced victory and defeat. Well, we are the safety net for individuals that have mental illness and or addiction illnesses of drugs or alcohol.
Okay.
For that do not have Medicaid or private insurance.
Okay.
And it's important to know that a lot of don't have private insurance, but those that have Medicaid in Ohio only covers 7 of the 25 different areas that they could cover.
Okay.
So having Medicaid is important, but it doesn't cover everything one needs.
Okay.
Whether it's mental health or addiction side, to have full recovery. I've been meeting with persons that are recovering addicted heroin addicts. And I asked them, how did they get to where they're at? And they tell me, half of them tell me, well, I started very young, 10, 11, 12, smoking marijuana. Then I went to pills, and then I went to pain, then I went to heroin. same story for at least half of them. So it's a progression, and one could say that about cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's the gateway
Yeah.
drug, if you will.
For more about the Center for Community Solutions or their publications, please visit www.communitysolutions.com.